relentless run. This is the title, very aptly given to this autobiography. Life is a relentless run. It is more so for those who join a working class party, a communist party, because they will have no time to stop this run, to stop the relentless struggles, organizational activities, reading, speaking. So, for a communist, for a working class leader, there are multifaceted activities expected of him or her. So it's quite natural that Todar Votam is the apt title that's being given to the autobiographical work of Comrade T.K. Rangarajan. The speech that I need to customarily make after releasing a book, that responsibility has been substantially reduced by Comrade A.K. Padmanabhan by the acceptance speech which he kindly made in advance, because due to the fog condition in Delhi and all that, the second flight which I had to rebook, that also got slightly delayed. That's why I appeared before you in the attire of, cold Delhi. There was no time to change it. I straight away reached this venue from the airport. I make two requests to you, which is a repetition. Part of it is a repetition that Comrade AKP suggested that new generation especially should buy this book and go through it. I would rather add, this book needs to be studied. I got only a summary of its English translation. The comrade who made that summary would have done justice to his work. Still, it is possible that there could be a summary, would be only a summary. It is not full. My request is that this book needs to be translated into English too, as fast as possible, so that it can be translated into other languages, other Indian languages, for example, Malayalam, Kannada, Telugu, and so on. Why I say so? By going through this summary, I am able to understand that this is not a rich description of his personal experiences alone. That is part of any autobiography. But the times through which Comrade TK lived through, struggled through, that times also get reflected in this work, which would be of immense use for society as a whole, especially those who are wishing to change the injustices that exist in our society. Those who wish and hope to transform the existing society with very many inadequacies. So we would be able to get new insights as to how we should organize various sections of people and how we should carry on the struggle to make our society more livable, more meaningful, with less injustices. Why do I say so? There is one experience when Comrade TKR started as a youthful apprentice in a Trichy establishment. He has the characteristic of very closely observing big and small developments and happenings, events around him. Without branching out, I would recall that in the party central committee, I have had many occasions of observing Comrade TKR closely. He has studied a lot, he has immense experience, but in any discussion, whether it is in a party congress or in a central committee meeting, Comrade TKR sits like a student. Before narrating this Trichy experience, the veracity of my, view about TKR, of his close observation of everything. In Central Committee, these are all things. Actually, Central Committee, there are areas where we will not divulge what happened in Central Committee. We are not expected to say. But I feel that there are certain things which comrades should know about how Central Committee meets, how we discuss and decide. There are certain things which we can relate, and I think we should relate. For example, one meeting, a comrade from Kerala was explaining something about the economic situation. I would mention the name, which is Thomas Isaac, finance minister in two LDF governments and a renowned economist. So there is a time restriction, 7 minutes, 8 minutes like that. So he was explaining it in a flow and very informative things about Kerala experience. Then time was over. So presiding officer, comrade said that yes, your time. So generally it would be given in writing, the remaining points. Comrade TKR said, no, these are all some very important things which we should also know. So he may be given some more time to explain all that. Generally, the presiding comrade won't oblige because time he has to keep. But when TKR made that demand, presiding comrade said, yes, Isaac, you may take little more time to complete those points. So, this is how, this is a very, very important, aspect we should understand. Here in Trichy, their labor unions are there, they give representations, and labor officer will forward it. So he discovered that this labor officer is using two different fountain pens with two different types of ink. In one fountain pen, it is blue ink. In another fountain pen, it is green ink. Whichever representation of a particular union which he favors, he will recommend it, same words, but using the green ink pen. The demands of the union which the labor officer is not in favor of consideration, he would use the pen with blue ink. So TKR confronted the labor officer. He asked, what is this? Don't think that you can befool us. You are doing like this. No, it cannot be. So finally he had to relent. Similarly, when he made a visit to Czechoslovakia, Czech people are there in the United Countries, Slovak people are also there. But now this are separated. But the good old days, they were together. And within another 3 days, we are going to commence the death centenary of Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov Lenin. There is a relevance about Lenin when we discuss this nationality question. Under his leadership, the nationality question was resolved in USSR and in other East European countries also, the same approach of Lenin, that there should not be any great nationality dominance over smaller nationalities. All nationalities should be given equality. It is relevant in Indian context also. Very much. Now very soon, there will be census, the new delimitation for parliament seats, and it is already reported that representation in Lok Sabha from South Indian states would be drastically reduced, and Lok Sabha membership of North Indian states would be enormously increased. This is going to be a big issue we will have to address. These are all interrelated. Under Lenin, in 1922, when Soviet Union was formed, the concept was that the great Russian nationality domination should not be there. That was what was followed in Czechoslovakia and other places also. But long and short, this beautiful principle so the great Russian domination and a democratic approach in dealing with the nationality question, that was followed in other countries of East Europe also at the beginning. But later on, there was deviations, even in Soviet Union. So, TKR in his book makes a reference that when he was moving in Czechoslovakia, he was able to see that everything is not very, very fine in the relationship with Czech and Slovak people. This being a function as part of the Chennai Book Fair, I understand that there is another program to take place here, and we cannot make very lengthy speeches. I was also trying to find out how much time can be used. So, I don't think when I restrict and reduce my speech, you are going to miss anything. You won't miss anything if you buy this book and read. I am only planning to speak something about this book. I have to mention one point which is also important. The contributions. There are 5 sections. Now I jump to the last section. That is the contribution as a parliamentarian. There he was taking up the cause of the working class and toiling masses. Comrade TKR is an organic revolutionary and an organic communist. He is able to creatively develop the Marxist theory in his practice. He maintains very good relationship with all parliamentarians belonging to this side and that side. But when the problems of working class and ordinary mass of people comes, he will not compromise. He will fight with anybody. That is the character.